Good afternoon everyone. Welcome to my, what week am I today? 28-week pregnancy update video. It is absolutely boiling in the UK and that's the reason I've got this fan on. I don't have a fancy microphone thing, so there may be a bit of background noise. I've also got the windows open, so there may be a bit of noise in the background. I'm sorry, but I'm already dying as it is, and it took me a lot of effort just to put a little bit of makeup on for this video. It's 30 degrees today, what the hell. So last video I did was the 23-week update. Since then, the main reason I've not done any updates since then is because not much has changed, and there's not been kind of anything major to kind of update on, so I thought I'd group it all together in today's video as I'm officially hitting third trimester. So as always, I've got my phone for notes, so apologies for keep looking down. The first thing I wanted to speak about was the excitement has well and truly kicked in. I think both Curtis and I struggled a lot at the beginning, which I've spoke about before, because it wasn't something we were expecting, and truthfully it just took us a while to get our heads around everything. We didn't start buying anything until a couple of weeks ago, but we went down to a mother care event 2 weeks ago now, and we bought the pram. I've got the baby bath now. We've got the sterilising kit. What other biggish things have we got? The baby bouncer, which my sister has bought us. We've chosen the car seat, etc. So we're both really excited now and just really getting into the swing of things with buying all things for the baby and things that I'm going to need as well. So I'm happy to report on that. The downside of, for me, being pregnant over the past 6.5 months has been, I spoke about it briefly on my last video, but very emotional ups and downs, and basically my anxiety has just gone through the roof. It really hit a peak about 4 weeks ago, so when, I suppose around the time that I did the last video, yeah, the anxiety got really bad. We went away for a week to Marbella and it was so bad there, but I'm happy to report that over the past few weeks it seems to have really reduced. So I'm kind of hopeful that it is more of a hormone based problem. I went to go and speak to somebody, and one of them local mental health charities. Unfortunately it wasn't the right type of setup that I'm looking for, because I want more kind of therapy and counselling, whereas this organisation was kind of a group environment, which I'm just not comfortable doing with my anxiety. But yeah, I'm just really happy that that's like died down a lot now. I'm still getting like funny anxiety tummy, you know, a couple of times during the day, but it's gone down so much. Like, it was really crippling me a couple of weeks ago where I was just like, yeah, just really down in the evenings, etc. I briefly mentioned the holiday that we went on. Although I did have my anxiety during the holiday, me and Curtis had a really nice time. It was basically just a chill out time for the both of us to spend time together, and we went for some lovely meals. We did a lot of chilling around the pool. We went on one of those motorised scooter things which you can't take on the road, you can just kind of take alongside the pavements, etc. And we managed to get pulled over by the riot police, which was interesting. No fault of our own, by the way. One had gone missing the day before, but it was highly embarrassing because Marbella Old Town was packed with people just watching us. Another update for 28 weeks is that my bump is growing at a rapid rate. It's funny when you look back on pictures, like when I look back to like 4 months pregnancy and 5 months pregnancy updates, and I think, and at the time you think that your bump is huge, whereas now I literally, like, I'm struggling to do things now. I can't, like, putting the left hand sock and trainer on or shoe on has become so challenging. Just getting up from bed, just because I don't want to tense everything and put strain on my stomach, it's just become really hard. I got stuck on the sofa the other day. I was like led in the groove at the back, and I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? Nelly, help. And she was just looking at me. But yeah, the bump is getting big. I'm finding things a lot more uncomfortable, like sleeping and getting in and out of cars, but it's like nothing major at all. I have actually put another update on, like, one of my other points on here is that physically, apart from the obvious of just getting bigger as my pregnancy progresses, physically I feel absolutely fine, and I'm really thankful for that. I'm still in the gym, like, my workouts are going really well. I've got no real aches and pains, I've got no heartburn, I haven't got any water retention or swelling yet. I know these things could come, but I'm just saying at the minute I'm really lucky that I don't really have any other physical symptoms apart from just becoming more and more uncomfortable. The only thing that I still do have is like a pain here, which I always get when I'm sat down, typically when I'm a little bit crouched over. I spoke to a midwife about it and the doctor, and they both had a feel around, and they're not concerned that it's anything to do with the pregnancy, in terms of it's like my uterus feels fine, the baby feels fine. There's nothing that they're concerned about in terms of that side of things. The doctor did just say, as I suspected, I mean, I wasn't even going to go and get it checked out, but the midwife just suggested I speak to the doctor just to rule anything out. But the doctor just said that it is probably just a muscle that's aching or being stretched, or you know, something internally has just been moved and it's just putting pressure on another area, etc. So it's just something I'm living with. It is not unbearable at all, and actually if I just, I mean, now it's starting to hurt straight, like as soon as I sit down it starts to hurt, but if I just kind of stretch out, I tend to feel better. Of course, as women do, I googled on the internet and there seems to be a lot of women that experience similar pains, and a lot of them said that it doesn't go away until you're not pregnant anymore, so something I'm just putting up with. Another point was that I had, basically because my dad is diabetic, I had to have the diabetes test, the pregnancy type diabetes, what is it called? Gestina? I'm not going to say it, but if you're pregnant you'll know what I mean. So I had to go for that test on Friday, which I'll be honest was horrific. I'm not scared of needles, I don't mind getting my blood taken, I'm not squeamish or anything like that, but unfortunately whenever I do go and get my blood taken, everybody always says, oh, I can't find your vein. So this particular lady, she eventually found one on my left arm. She was pumping the blood out and they had to take 3 bottles of blood, so quite a bit, and after 2 bottles the flow stopped, so my blood flow stopped, and she carried on trying to get it out, which I don't think you're supposed to do. This arm went completely dead, and I just said to her, she was like, oh, okay, let me try on the other arm, and I said, you're just gonna have to wait a minute because I'm fainting. You know, if you've fainted before, which I'm sure many of you have, you can just all of a sudden your body just goes clammy. My hearing was going, and another lady from next door came in and propped me up, like led me down, got the fan on me, etc. And I came round after a couple of minutes, but the other lady that had come to help, she just jabbed the needle in straight away and got another bottle of blood, and that was fine. But then with this diabetes test you have to have these 3 bloods taken, or a new fast 12 hours before as well, which probably didn't help with not being able to find my veins and fainting. and then you have to go away for 2.5 hours where you've got to stay in the hospital, but they give you a really sweet drink to drink. It's basically just a bottle full of glucose, carbohydrates. It's just really thick like syrup, and before they let you go you have to drink all of that, which is disgusting, and then go away for 2.5 hours. You're not supposed to drink any water at all, but I had to have sips of water. It was boiling, I just didn't feel well, but this arm just went, it was completely dead. It was really sore. I just felt really unwell for those couple of hours. Anyway, I went back and she took another bottle of blood, so I'll get those results next week. It just wasn't a nice experience. I know a lot of people's are probably just a lot more straightforward than that, but it was just the fainting that for the rest of the day I think it just really knocked me out. But that was that. So yeah, like I said, I'll get the results for those next week. Hopefully I don't have the diabetes, but if I do, we will manage it. Another cute update is that the baby is kicking and punching, I would say at least once an hour during the day. A lot of people tell me that they felt their baby's kicking, or they do feel their baby's kicking during the night, so it kind of stops them sleeping, but thankfully we don't have that problem at all, and it's during the day when the baby's really active. And you can see the little like my belly really, like you can see the indents of where it's kicking and punching. I did read on my app today that the baby should now, in an ideal world, be facing downwards, getting ready. So I'm going to see the midwife tomorrow, so that'll be interesting to see if he or she has decided to face down. I know that it's not an issue at this stage if they haven't, and that can still happen right up until you know, a week or days before you go into labour, so it's not something I'm too concerned about. But having a breech baby is not something I would be worried if I had a breech baby, because I really want to try and do this the most natural, and dare I say it, I would like to look at the option of having a home birth. But yeah, I know with breech baby that things like that can become a little bit more complicated, so it would just be nice not to have that complication. But yeah, I think that's about it. As I say, I'm going to the midwife again tomorrow, and then I won't see her then again for another 3 weeks, I believe. I can't remember when she said we'd do my birth plan. It might be at that one where she's booked like a 2-hour slot. So I'm really looking forward to that, because I've been doing a lot of research and I know what I want. It's just a matter of discussing the risks, etc. with the midwife and getting a professional opinion, because, excuse me, no matter what I want, if the midwife tells me that certain things are too much of a risk, or I'd be better off doing something else, then I will be taking the professional opinion. And that's it really. I'm going to Portugal on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that, to get away from this heat. Portugal is not as hot as here at the minute, and at least there will be a pool, and there is, I know we've got the sea here, but yeah, it'd just be nice to just jump in and cool down whenever I want. So I'll be there for 10 days, so I'm not going to do an update video in that time, but after that I am going to start doing different types of pregnancy videos, i.e. when I've done my birth plan, I'm going to discuss my birth plan. I would love to discuss hypnobirthing and what I've learned about hypnobirthing. I really want to do a video on the exercise that I've been doing in pregnancy, and the exercises I feel benefit you during pregnancy. And I'd love to do the baby names one. I'll do the hospital bag one. Yeah, I don't know about doing the essentials one, because I don't feel like you know what's essential until the baby's born and you can actually give an honest review on the things that you've bought. But I might do like a little baby haul as well. But if there's anything that people would like to see, then please let me know. I'm sorry it's been such a delay since my last one. It's a good job I don't make a living out of YouTube, because I would be failing. Okay, I'm gonna go. I think we are actually going to the beach now for an hour so that Nelsie can go swimming. She's so hot. Nellie can cool off in the sea. I shall hopefully see you all soon.